I say welcome back, my EOE family. Welcome back to the EOE network. If this is your first time here, please take a moment to hit that like and subscribe button. If you're coming back, family, hey, welcome back to day 7 of Never Finished by David Goggins vlog series by yours truly. I'm your boy Terrell, aka T Ford. Man, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Your boy tired. Your boy been putting in a lot of training. If you looked at the earlier videos of this channel, I challenged myself to a 31 for 31 challenge for the month of December. But I said I'm going to ride my bike, get on my trainer, and ride this bike every day for 31 days for a minimum of 31 minutes. But once you're doing it, you're into it. But then I look back at my training calendar thus far, and I realized since last week of October, I've been training like every day since. I think I only missed like 2 days, but every day I make sure to get my 10,000 steps in. Anyways, that leads us into today chapter 7, reckoning. So by definition, reckoning is the calculation or the estimate of something. And that's where Goggins is at right now, where he's trying to reckon with the situation of past injuries, current injuries, to see how long it's going to take him to recover to get to the next event. So if you go back to where we were yesterday, he had just finished Moab 240 out in Utah. Now it's like his body has started to break down in certain ways. Those old nagging injuries from Can't Hurt Me is starting to reveal themselves. So as Lando put yesterday, as you get older, it takes your body a little bit longer to recover from injuries and stuff. So we can fight through it so long. So I'm going to use myself as an example. I'm a man that has suffered from 2 torn quadricep muscles in each leg. So right now, if you look at my leg, if you look at the anatomy of my legs or the anatomy of a normal person's legs, there are 4 quadriceps head that makes up your quadricep muscle, the largest muscle in your front part of your leg. And each one of my legs, I only have 2 because 2 of the tendons have ripped and rolled up into a ball there at the top part of my leg. Couldn't have surgery. Surgery wouldn't fix it, so it's just stuck up there. So my body had to come with the grasp and the facts that we're going to have to rebuild the 2 outer quadricep muscles to fill in that gap right there. So it took a lot of work. So I had to come to that reckoning of estimating exactly how long it was going to take me to recover from these injuries. And the sad part is they was like bilateral injuries. I ripped one in my right leg in Iraq, then turned around when we got back from Iraq, and I ripped the other 2 on my left leg, being stupid, of course, young, dumb, and stupid, trying to run and trying to sprint without properly stretching. And it was a long recovery after that. So I understand where Goggins is at right now, when you at that place where it's like, man, I'm in recovery, how long it's going to take. So what do? Your ego gets involved. What do? You write down something on the calendar. You say, okay, there's an event coming up in November. Let's just say November timeframe of the following year. And you start looking at it like, okay, I'm injured now. I'm in rehab. If I do this, and this, I should be able to partake in that event. I should be able to compete in that event. Even if I don't win, I'm going to compete. So that's where Goggins is at right now in chapter 7, reckoning with his body and putting stuff on the calendar. Well, let's put it this way. If you know Goggins, he put it on the calendar and that boy got back at it because he wasn't happy with the way the previous Moab finished. Let's just say Moab 2019 or Moab 2019. He wasn't happy with the results. So he had to go back into that lab, had to go back into that cookie jar, had to go look at that accountability mirror. Let's bring that back up. Had to go look in that accountability mirror and say, all right, I'm not happy. What can I do to get better? How can I come back even better for next year? All right. So he wrote it down, held himself accountable. But like I said, like some of y'all can contest, you've been injured, you've been training for something, you want to get back at it. So what do? You come up with a plan. You estimate the time it's going to take you to recover. If you do physical therapy 3 days a week, 4 days a week, you're stretching, you're doing icing and compression and all this other stuff to recover your body to get back in peak condition or almost in peak condition to go back out there and compete and grind it out again. So if we know Goggins, he's looking at his stuff every day. But now, only thing different about this time around, Goggins actually has someone else who understands the process. So Goggins has built him an amazing team of savages. team of people who's just like, hey, bro, whatever you want to do, Let's do it. Whatever you're going to do, if you all in, we all in. Let's go out here and get it done. So his new lady, Kish or Jennifer, whatever he calls her at that moment in time in the book, she's like, hey, you in, I'm in. He built him a team, like a support team that's rock solid. Like, hey, whatever you want to do, let's do it, because we all in this with you. Now, some of you may be out there, you may be going through a solo dolo. I understand that when you're just in a deep, dark place and you're coming out of it because people are telling you, hey, sit back, take it easy, let your body heal. You don't have to do this. It's just something that you want to do. It ain't worth it. Give you all these excuses. Those people right there, when they start giving you excuses, turn that mess off. You don't need to hear that. You need to find you a team of people who understands the process, who have been through the process, and is willing to go through the process with you, so to help you get to where you're trying to go. Most people don't want to do that. Now, when I go out here and do my events, I make sure I got a support team. I got some great guys that I ride with. I got great guys and girls that I ride with, run with. These people, I love them to death because it don't matter. Rain, wind, storm, whatever, snow, they're out there. They're like, hey, T, we're going to get through it. Everyone's training for a different event, but just do you and run your race or ride your race. Don't worry about nothing else. We got your back. And that's what Goggins did. He got him a team like that. And this team is rock solid. So sometimes the noise that you hear may be coming from inside, maybe coming from internal, inside your own home, inside your own network of people telling you don't do it, sit back. But understand, they might only be doing that out of love, or they might just be doing it just because they hate what you're doing. So you got to take it for what it is. So he's reckoning with this fact right now. But then this is where that savage truly was reborn, because this is where we seen Goggins. This is where we seen Goggins put David on the back burner, that Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type things. But he put him on the back burner like, hey, Goggins came back out like, hey, I'm here to stay. It's kind of like the Hawk. When David Banner becomes the Hawk, and the Hawk was like, hey, I'm here to stay now. This is who I am. You're just going to live inside of me. We're not going back to that human form. We're going to stay this big green dude, and we're going to destroy stuff, but we're going to learn how to hone it in, because we kind of like, celebrity status David. We kind of like what's going on. So anyways, throughout the rest of this chapter, it's just back to normal Goggins stuff. He's running. He did a race, and then soon he finished that race, he got back in his think pad on his way somewhere else. He was like, oh, it's an event over here. Let me go hop in this right quick, and let me go show them that I'm still here. So this is where he's transforming back into full blown out Goggins mode, and where he's just like, I'm still here to show people, I'm still here to show MF SOBs that I'm still that guy. I'm going to do the things that you don't want to do. And of course, those come along with the haters. So if you follow his Instagram, you've seen him. That's at the part of it right now. If you've been following his life, he had his knee drained about 4, 5, 6 times. He had a little bit of surgery right now to get his leg, torn ACL. And this, if you ever had a torn ACL or a damaged knee, oh, it's so painful. If you have ever been there, it's the most painful thing in the world to try to walk, and you hear that when that grind on grind. It is painful. Or if you've been like me, like you don't tore a calf muscle. Yeah, I don't tore a lot of stuff in my lower body, people. Welcome to the team. But that's what happens when you with the airborne. You just do a lot of running and stuff happens. So if you with it, and you just go through the pain and you go through the process. But because something inside of you wants you to keep going, you want to keep grinding and you want to keep getting better, you just keep pushing yourself better to get better and better. So like I said, that's where he at right now. And it's just like his support system, shout out to his girl, man. She's there with him thick and thin right now. And, he finally, like I mentioned yesterday, he finally has someone that truly loves and understands him. So now I'm really excited to see where his life goes. I'm going to take my hat off. I'm rooting for the brother. I want to see where this actually takes him, because it's amazing how your life could change when you find that person who's there for you through thick and thin. When you find that person who's willing to support you and have your back, no matter what you decide to do, and they say, hey, I'm riding with you, I'm riding for you, and we're going to do this together, no matter how long it takes. That is a different type of feeling when you have that in your life, because you're no longer fighting that internal battle between people in your own home. You could be your wife, your husband, your kids, whoever, your partner. You're not fighting that battle. But when you got somebody who say, I got your back and we're in this together, that's one less battle that you have to fight, because she's taking care of stuff on the back end to allow him to focus on becoming more of himself. And when somebody allows you to focus on becoming more of yourself, that's more of yourself you can give to them. And that's just makes things better. So for everybody that's out there right now, this is chapter 7. And this is our review. This is the vlog of Never Finished. And this chapter was strictly entitled Reckoning, when you're trying to estimate how long it's going to take you to recover from something, or you're trying to do that calculation. Maybe not even recovering. It don't even have to be physical. You may be at a time in your life right now where it's like, hey, I'm estimating right now we can live off this salary, or we can live off this savings for about 6 months before you got to go back out here and find a new job, or you're estimating X, Y, and Z. You're trying to make it through. That's something you have to reckon with. I'm only speaking from personal facts and personal, as the words of the great Luther Vandross, I can only speak from what I have been through. And so, hey, just a man who have been through a lot. So I understand if you're going through the struggle right now. I understand if you're reckoning with other things. You're calculating how much longer you want to stay at this job, or you want to leave, or how much longer you want to give your YouTube a chance to grow. That's where Goggins is at right now. Goggins is reckoning with everything that goes on in normal life, like you and I. So that's just what it is. So chapter 7 is an amazing one. The podcast after chapter 7 is pretty in depth as well. So as always, y'all continue to be good. You continue to be great. If you find value in what I'm adding to you here today, like and subscribe, because, hey, Goggins was just a normal guy who transformed his life into helping us. Like he said, the book is not a self-help book, but call it what it is. A spade is a spade. It's definitely a self-help book in many different ways. It's just not entitled like that. And it's not entitled as it just doesn't go the way of all other self-help books go in the lucky go ways, make you feel good inside. No, this shit is real. It makes you think, and it makes you just re-examine yourself and push yourself a little bit further. So in closing again, y'all continue to be good. Y'all continue to be great. Like and subscribe, share it. And to all my Gogginites, stay hard.